I have not done a create a card discussion of sorts in a while. Overall, I probably should just simply rename this series to Cards Konami Should Create, but won't for whatever reason. This discussion looks at first flip effect monsters, which have not received much generic support over the years. Yes, they have two somewhat new specific archetypes in Subterrors and Tindangles, but instead of isolating support to those decks exclusively, what about making some cards that can be utilized by all flip effect type decks? Well, when making generic flip effect support, that means only one thing. It's time for a trip to the library. First card, Book of Space. Quick play spell. Discard one card from your hand. Special summon one level 4 or lower flip effect monster from your deck or graveyard to your field face down. If this card is in your graveyard, once per turn, quick effect, if a face down flip effect monster would be destroyed by an opponent's card effect, it is not destroyed. Book of Space deals with one of the biggest problems for Flip Effect, especially in this generation of Yu-Gi-Oh! The opponent simply removing the face down monster with the card effect before they have to attack it, causing it to flip face up and activate its effect. Space limits the opponent's removal options to at least either forcing them to use a second piece of destruction based removal or a piece of non destruction based removal, which are less generically available. Also, space reintroduces, in a sense, an effect that is severely lacking in Yu-Gi-Oh! A continuous use effect for graveyards. You don't have to banish it from the graveyard to trigger its effect, you just get its effect once per turn. Also, space provides the nice versatility of summoning from the deck at the cost of space and a discard, which seems fair. Second card, Book of Void. Quick play spell. Pick up the top 3 cards from your deck. If any of the drawn cards are flip effect monsters, you can special summon them to the field in face down defense position. Return all non flip effect monster cards to your deck. Increase your opponent's life points by 1,000 per card returned to the deck by this effect. You cannot special summon from the extra deck on the turn you use this effect. If this card is in your graveyard once per turn during your opponent's turn, you can send one flip effect monster from your deck to your graveyard to flip one face down monster on the field face up. Book of Void attempts to address the common speed issue associated with flip effect decks, for while the game has seriously evolved in the way of speed with all of the special summoning, a vast majority of this evolution has left flip effect monsters behind due to the need to be face down, which almost no modern special summon tutor card allows for. Void helps mass set flip effect monsters, although it is not guaranteed, and while in the graveyard, it also addresses the other issue of flip effect monster speed by allowing for the flip effect activation without the opponent initiating the attack, waiting until the next turn, or running a similar effect but in a much more obscure card like Book of Tayu. The second archetype structure we are looking at in this discussion, as everyone who's watching this video probably already knows from the title, is Chaos Dragons. So what brought this on? Well, I was building a Chaos Dragon deck for a deck build request and found myself wondering exactly where were the dragons in this deck, for Master Rule 4 has really handicapped the previous iterations of Chaos Dragon, and overall the lack of quality targets for Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon, if you don't want to run this potentially bricky mess, has limited the value of that once great card in a Chaos Dragon build. At least it has, in my opinion. So, what new toys would Chaos Dragons receive? The first card, Black Moon Draco. Dark Dragon, level 8, 2800 attack, 1900 defense. And its effect, once per turn, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Select one of the following effects. Target one dragon type monster on your field and increase your life points equal to its current attack. Special summon one Moon Dragon token. Light Dragon, level 8, no attack, 2500 defense. If this card is banished, select one dragon type monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. One of the problems with modern Chaos Dragons is a dependence on Light Swarm hybridization to feed the graveyard to increase the probability of Darkness Metal effectiveness because there are not a lot of good dragon monsters that can help feed its effect. Black Moon Draco. Send itself to the graveyard, thus it's not a brick in hand. Summon a dragon token that can then be banished to summon Darkness Metal, and then Darkness Metal can resummon from the graveyard. Also, during the opponent's turn, Draco can increase life points to help the player survive the coming assault, for Chaos Dragons sure do lack defensive options. The level of graveyard recovery of Chaos Dragons is also rather lacking, especially those builds that run Dark Arm Dragon and then eventually lose it to a mill. So Draco has a chance to recover Dark Arm Dragons or other cards. Wait, there's still more? Honestly, I did not design this card with this much utility in mind, but it just sort of happened. The token can help jumpstart link plays, synchro plays, and even tribute plays outside of just Darkness Metal, as well as its level 8 standing, actually helping support those players that want to run a card like Ruins of the Divine Dragon Lords. I'd say this is a pretty solid card. Card number 2, Dark Stone Dragon. Dark Dragon, level 4, 1700 attack, 1600 defense. And its effect? If a dragon type monster is summoned, and this card is in the graveyard, banish one monster from your graveyard to equip this card to that summoned monster. If this card is equipped to a monster, select one of the following effects. The equipped monster is unaffected by monster effects. If the equipped monster leaves the field, return 2 banished cards to your graveyard to draw 1 card. If the equipped monster would be destroyed, destroy this card instead. Another problem with Chaos Dragons is the lack of good Dark Dragons that are not part of the Red Eyes family, and even then, those dragons are not that useful. Dark Stone Dragon seeks to address that issue. The chief functionality of Dark Stone provide a defensive or recovery aspect for Chaos Dragons, something, as previously mentioned, it heavily lacks through a variety of choice. The defensive trigger effect can also synergize with Flip's Wyvern along with some other cards, producing some additional combo advantage. Well, those are my ideas for expanding the playmaking potential and deck building styles for both generic flip effect monsters and Chaos Dragons. Thank you for your attention and your time. I'm out.